Hey guys, how's it going? How you doing? Well, today we're gonna do a quick review of this brand new 530 series BMW. I owned it for a couple of weeks. It was shipped from Germany, I think, a couple of months ago to BMW of Daytona. It feels BMW, and I picked it up from there. And that's what I normally do. I normally lease those cars. My previous car was M440 convertible. I had it for about 3 years, and before that I had an X6 with that package, and before that 328i. So every 3 years I get a new car. And my friend said, hey, listen, you get those cars brand new. Why don't you just post a review on YouTube, and people might enjoy. The ones that want to get one of these babies might enjoy it because they're just straight out of factory, straight from Germany. This one is from Germany. It has a W VIN number, so that means it was built in Germany. This is an M package 530, so it looks really cool, but it is a basic 530 with 4-cylinder. I think it's a 2-liter twin turbo engine, 255 horsepower. I think it's got 304 newtons of torque, so good torquage there. And of course, it does from 0 to 60. I think it's 5.6, 5.5 seconds, depending on what reviews you read. I personally tested it. I think I got 5.6, something like that. So just under 6 seconds, really nice for a big executive, E-Class, Mercedes E-Class equivalent car. It's really comfortable. It's, as I said, I had it for a couple of weeks now. It's a very plush drive, extremely comfortable inside. It looks great. Those wheels, they were an option. Normally they come with slightly smaller wheels, but these wheels are really big. I don't even know what diameter they are, to be honest. I'm not a professional driver. So let me go ahead and jump into it and see if we can see what's happening inside. Sorry about all the noise here. So here's the car inside. I don't need a key at all. This car actually works on proximity sensor to the phone. The phone is just recording right now. That's how it senses it from probably 7 or 8 feet away, and it opens everything up and basically starts working. And here's the interface. It's got different modes here, which is somewhat different from previous car that the M440. You can actually click on modes here, right here, and it will show different modes. You can select them from here. So it's a slightly different interface for 2026. You can get just, I think they're kind of gimmicks. I don't understand exactly what expressive mode does, for example. What's the difference between that and let's say personal, stuff like that. Efficient obviously gives you better fuel efficiency. They got relax. It opens, closes the sunroof, and then you got digital arts. It's kind of weird, and they got silent here. So those are kind of gimmicks. The important ones I use all the time is obviously the personal one, which is just a regular drive. The efficient, if I'm on I-95, I go from Central Florida to Miami, I would use that because I want to save money on fuel. And this car is very, very good on fuel. It does about 38 miles a gallon. If you're really careful and efficient mode, it'll do even 40 miles a gallon. That's actually one of the reasons why I got it. And of course, you got sport mode, if you don't care about the fuel. Nowadays, with the run board and stuff like that, and fuel costing a lot, obviously, you probably don't want to use the sport mode while you drive on an interstate. The main reason why I traded in my M440 for this car is because I wanted a long-range drive. So before that, I was driving my M440 from Central Florida, basically from coastal area by Daytona Beach area to Orlando, and it's a short drive. It's like an hour and 5 minutes, hour 10 minutes, and you can really tear it up. Open up the car. 400, I think it's like 388 horsepower, something like that. So really nice power delivery there, and it's great. But unfortunately, I had no automation. Now I changed employer, and so I have to drive from Central Florida, Daytona Beach area on I-95 about 3.5-4 hours to Miami. So obviously Miami is a long drive. I want full automation, and this car is supposed to have full automation. This is why I bought it, because you can basically engage the the autopilot here, and it's supposed to drive without you even touching the steering wheel. It does have cameras here. It's got camera here, here, and here, and those cameras watch you all the time. Want to make sure that you're not distracted in any way. You're not reading magazine or watching Netflix. If it sees you doing that, it will alarm you. However, I was told that you can just put something like a sticker on those cameras, and they're not going to bother you. I'm not doing this because I think it's unsafe. If it's a long drive and I'm tired, I start kind of dozing off, the car will alarm me. I pretended once I was kind of had my eyes closed. They weren't closed, but a little bit, just to kind of trick the car thinking that I'm dozing off. And it started playing really loud music after a couple of alarms, really loud music, and it started blasting really cold air in my face. So it has certain protections that will alert you and wake you up until it just gives up and says, that's it, I'm not driving anymore. So it will pull over. But otherwise, it's really good automation here. What it looks like inside, here's what I went for. This is like a brownish kind of interior inside. I wanted something really simple. My M440 had a red interior. It was cool, but you just get tired of it. It's not anything that you can get used to. Everything is touch here. So if you open the car, there are no real buttons here, and it's really makes it really, really clean. Ambient lighting is right here. You can actually select that, and I think the modes would change that automatically. It's a sports mode. Makes it ambient lighting red, but if you go personal, I think it changes to blue and stuff like that. And of course, you can get different settings, so you can change it to whatever you want. Other than that, you got some storage space. You got a lot of stuff here. You can store some stuff in here. Again, you got minimal amount of actual physical buttons in the console here. It's all kind of integrated into one unit, and you press it, and it's not a real button, but you get tactile sort of feedback that you press it. The volume is here, stuff like that. When you go to the back, let's jump to the back. Just open that first. Okay. The rear is nothing to write home about. Is it possible to sit here comfortably? Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is this is with the seat all the way back. My seat, I like to keep it all the way back, and it's my knees are not exact. I mean, it's a little bit tight. It's not an S-Class, but I don't have to sit that far back. Normally, I can probably move 2 or 3 inches forward and still be comfortable, and whoever is sitting at the back here would also be fairly comfortable. But that's what it looks like at the back. A lot of speakers here. The audio is pretty phenomenal. So you're not gonna have any complaints with that. The great thing about this car, the ride is very, very, very smooth and very plush. So to open the boot, press this guy right here. It opens the boot. It's a big boot. I got some stuff here in the boot. You can see how big it is, right? Yeah, that's a big boy right there. And to close it, you just click on the button to close automatically. So here it is. That's the car. My personal experience with this car, I love driving it. It's even with the fact that considering the fact that it's 530, I can compare it to my 440 sports car, and the drive is of course not as sharp and not as sporty, but it's still sporty enough. When you put in sports mode, this car, I don't know how it does it, but it keeps all the time at the peak of the torque performance. It's almost like driving an electric car. If you ever drive an electric car, it's very torquey, and this is the kind of feeling that you get with this car over here. It's very very torquey, and you can get power out of it whenever you need it. But also, if you want to relax, chill out, you got a long, tiring drive, you can just put the autopilot on. The only complaint that I got is the autopilot doesn't quite work. It has the driver assistance plus package, And so when you turn this thing on and you're on a chartered highway like I-95, it's supposed to show you that you can now take your wheels off, take your hands off the wheel, and continue driving without touching the steering wheel. But that hasn't happened yet. And I called the dealer and I said, I got a problem here. That system is not working properly. And it hasn't been a big problem really, because the steering wheel has a capacitive sensor. So if you drive with your knee like that, not without even touching the steering wheel, it will sense that you are holding the steering wheel, and it's not going to trouble you. It's not going to tell you to hold the steering wheel. It will feel like you're holding the steering wheel. We can even hold it like that, right? You can just hold it like that, and that's it. It will drive itself. It will change the lanes. It will basically recommend it to change lanes and stuff like that. And we'll do it in a second. So let's take it for a drive. Now I am in the airport right now, so I'm not gonna go fast or anything like that. But let's take it for a quick drive, and just to see what it feels like. You know, this is the original airport here. I keep my toy in here in one of those hangars. Okay. So it's a very, very quiet and yet fairly substantial power delivery. Really, really nice to drive either on the highway or off-road like I'm doing right now. And so we're just going to go for a very short drive. Hopefully the gate will let me out. Yes, it will. Very good, very good. And so we're going to go for a short drive, just so you can feel what it feels like, and see what it feels like to drive this car. Again, it's very comfortable. All right. If you like, you can go to nav here. We can connect media. Obviously, it's wirelessly connected to the phone, to the iPhone. So accelerating, just a little bit of a noise when you accelerate. It is a 4-cylinder engine. It has got twin turbo, I guess, compressor in it, but that's what it feels like driving this car. And we're not going to get on a highway today. Highway is just very boring and very smooth. But on the country road, it's pretty nice. Yeah. All right. Well, would I recommend this car to a friend? Absolutely. I think I would. I think it's a way better option than Mercedes C-Class. I don't know, maybe because I lived in Europe, and in Europe, Mercedes C-Class is, it's a taxi cab. It's a cab driver car, because all the cars, all the taxis, all the cabs in Europe, and most Europe, are E-Class Mercedes. Go to Germany or France, or maybe not France, but Germany, Scandinavian countries and stuff like that. You'll see there's a lot of Mercedes C-Class riding around, and that's a bit of a stigma, you know. But nobody ever drives 5 Series BMW for, taxi purposes. Is just a very different sort of car. It's a sporty car, slightly firmer suspension, but still very, very plush. The M440 I had before had a really firm suspension. That was definitely a sports-oriented convertible. So very different feeling, faster, absolutely, but less comfortable to drive. So there you go. That's the review. I hope that helps. Again, it's a brand new car. It just come out. Oh, and another thing that's very different from 2023 or 24 design. Inside the car, you can see there are no vents, right? Of course, there are vents, but you cannot see them. You know how Mercedes has those big pipe vents, you know, they just kind of make a thing out of them. BMW clearly decided to go the opposite direction and said, no, we're going to do the opposite of what Mercedes does. We are going to get rid of vents completely so they're not visible. There's still ventilation going on. If you go to ventilation menu here, you can actually change it really quickly. It's very easy to change. Obviously, you can make it higher, lower, and stuff like that. Of course, it's two section air conditioning here, so one for passenger, one for you, and you can change it very quickly. And of course, you got the heating here for the steering wheel and the seat. I think it's an option, but it did come with that car. And you can do air conditioning max, and you can turn it off. So it's very easy to control that. But you just can't see the vents anywhere. It's kind of from here. Now, if you want to control the vents, you have to, again, there's a capacitor touch button. They're not really buttons, and that's how you change the direction. That's how you change direction, like that. And if you want to close the vent or open, you got a little thing right here that does that for you. So well, it doesn't do it for you, but you have to like regulate it through those things here. Do I love this idea? I don't know. I mean, I never loved the vents. And when I saw the interior here, I was kind of blown away, you know, because you just don't see the vents. I think it's a nice touch. It makes it classier. It makes it more of an executive level, sort of classy, and yet sporty SUV, sporty car. So it's kind of cool, but some people might not like it, might not like this sort of gimmicky control here. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed review, and I hope that's going to help you to choose or not choose this car for your next purchase. All right, take care.